Hey, it is 7 o'clock on the East Coast. I am Dave Globin, and you are not. This is Boogie with the Bull, Tuesday night live. We are live on the Dave Globin profile on Facebook. If that didn't come out right, we're live on the Dave Globin profile over here on Facebook. I'm going to scroll down and give me a second here. Modern technology, that needed to be adjusted, and this, and give me half a second. Whoops, come on. There we are. The live chat on the Dave Globin profile is open. If you're watching on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, your live chat is always open and ready to rock and roll. If you want to do me a favor sometime, go over to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and subscribe to it. You'll get notified every time we go live, because every time we go live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. And you will be able to watch it. And one of these days, if we get 1,000 subscribers who have watched 4,000 hours of Boogie with the Bull broadcasts, and there are more than 4,000 hours of Boogie with the Bull broadcasts over there on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, we might get a few pennies from YouTube, and maybe a dime here or there from Google. And it's not about the money, because we'll find something to do with the money. It might be about updating technology that is getting near the end of its life. And but the big thing about Boogie with the Bull, and I said it yesterday on one of the broadcasts, the big thing about it is just getting information that people on Facebook and on YouTube and on anywhere else we can share it to might want to know. I want to get them thinking. I want to get them to an event that's going on somewhere. Might want to get them into thinking that maybe they can host the same kind of event wherever they are. It may just kick something in your brain, kick in the behind, as my dad used to say, and get us to do something to get us out of the rut that we are into. Because I guess we are so far down in this rut, we just don't know how to get out. I mean, yeah, maybe President Trump will get elected, and in January of 2025, he'll sit down and he'll wave a magic wand, and he'll fix the border, and he'll do a mass deportation, and tighten up our economy a little bit more, and get us back to where we belong as the number one country in the world. Everybody's supposed to follow us, I guess. You know, maybe it's more important that not everybody follows us, but everybody just learns to coexist together. You know, you do what you want to do in your country, we'll do what we want to do in our country. And as long as we're kind of following the same rules, that, you know, people have some rights that you can't take away from them, and you're free to be whatever religion you want to be, as long as it doesn't interfere with another person's right to be the religion that they want to be. And we're not going to sleep at night hoping that the nuclear bombs sail the sky and we don't wake up the next morning. I just don't want to worry about that anymore. I really don't. I was watching a short video on YouTube today that caught my attention, because it claims more natural things you can consume, and if you consume them on a regular basis, it might bring my memory back. It might not cure me of dementia, but it will make some heavy-duty changes in my brain. And you know what? I want to believe every one of those that I hear. I really do. Because I'm the classic person that they're going after. They're saying if you don't use aspartame if you don't use the liquid in butter or the liquid butter flavoring in microwave popcorn, if you don't eat microwave popcorn, if you don't eat this, you don't eat that, maybe you can jumpstart your brain and get it going again. It would be really nice, because I'll tell you, living in a dementia world that might have a threat of Parkinson's down the road scares the hell out of me, because I wake up in the middle of the night, regardless of what the reason is. I wake up and the first thing I do is say my name, my address, my phone number. Hope I remember the lady sleeping next to me. Hope I remember the name of the cat that jumps up on the bed every time I wake up in the middle of the night to make sure I'm okay. Even the Chihuahua. Every once in a while, Delilah will come out from under the covers when I wake up and just make sure that Dad is okay. Good evening, William Grant. My pleasure to have you here. We had a few others that were scheduled to be here tonight, but unfortunately, life situations took them away from being available. Prayers and positive vibes and I guess whatever else go out to Nikki Young, who is out with family tonight and was not able to be here. And I hope Nikki can be here Thursday night. I hope Nikki, if he's up and awake in the mornings, can be here at 10 a.m. for Boogie with Bull Morning Caffeine. And tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, I will be here. I will have my coffee. I will have hopefully things you want to hear about. It won't just be another rant like this, but hopefully things that you want to hear about. Sorry you can hear the dogs in the background, but people should be coming through the door in the next few minutes, and that's going to make the dogs start barking. But anyway, if you got things going on in your life and you need a prayer, message me. I'll do my best to kind of get the words out of my mouth that tell you somebody cares, and I hope that you get through whatever the situations are in your life. I'm not sure how to word this, but Randy Rhodes did a broadcast earlier today that I guess all roads lead to home genealogy services, as well as the broadcast Stepping Stones and their other broadcast On the Road to Dixie. That all has come to an end. And honestly, I'm sad to hear that. When someone puts everything they have into launching a business, and even if it's really busy at the start, and then all of a sudden tapers down, and then tapers down, and then tapers down, and doesn't quite recover, yeah, giving up on your business can be one of the most difficult things in your life. And I know. I mean, I was lucky in my working life. I worked for 32 years doing all kinds of transportation jobs. I managed businesses, and then I was able to have 8 years as an owner, and then one day I had to let it go. Because it was putting too much effort into trying to just keep it going. And sometimes that's sometimes you just have to stand back and not necessarily watch it explode or crumble, and and you're not a failure. You're not a failure if that happens. You're not a failure. And you're not a failure because they say you will change jobs. You will change careers. You will change whatever you want to call it many times in your life. And you take a path and you walk it and you follow it. And one day you get to the end of the journey and you're sitting under a shady tree in the sun and there's a brick wall and you just can't go any further. Learn from it. Take a few days off and ponder how you got to that point. Then decide what you're doing. Sometimes it's as easy as making a few changes and trying it again. And it might work, it might not. Also, if you were self-employed in anything and you think about it, there are probably businesses in your chosen field, in your area, that would love to have someone like you to talk with, because you know what happened. You know maybe how to make a change here, make a change there that might keep things going, might give you better results, might give somebody else better results. You know, my big thing after I got out of the limousine business as a general manager, and people would tell me, oh, I'm thinking about going into the limousine business. The first thing I used to say was, don't. Unless you got cash to buy your car, cash to pay your bills, don't. I told someone until I was blue in the face when I lived in the San Jose, California area, do not take out a second mortgage on your home and buy a limousine unless you have at least 3 times what your car payment is, your insurance, plus maybe another $1,000 to pay you every month. Well, you look like you're doing really well. Well, yeah, we are. The company's been around for a bazillion years before I was hired to become the general manager. And the owner and his wife do a lot of the sales work, and we've got work, but don't go off just because we did and think that you're gonna buy a car and you're gonna make a lot of money. And I said that you're not guaranteed you're gonna make a lot of money off of us. We call you when all of our 5 cars are booked. But anyway, I'm not trying to talk anybody out of anything. Don't be afraid to try something just because it may not pan out. And if it doesn't pan out, like I just said, learn from it. Take some time, relax, refocus, come back, and do things slightly different. As far as I'm concerned, if you're trying to use Facebook to build a business, that's your biggest mistake in the world. Because Facebook doesn't like most of us that are on Facebook. So if you have a business, unless you're paying Facebook large amounts of money to have ads in the news feed and everywhere else you can have an ad, they don't really care. They don't really care. And even if you're paying them, they don't really care. Especially if you're a conservative or a conservative patriot or a GOP member or a Republican or whatever you want to call any of us, they don't care. They don't. So just come on and do whatever you're going to do and, live the golden rule. Do not allow Facebook to be the beginning and the end of your social media experience. Don't. Because you're only seeing what they want you to see. And if you post what they don't want Facebook members to see, you're going to be so far down on the bottom feeder's bulletin that your news feed is going to be everything that happened a week ago, and you're going to see that for 2 weeks. You will lose contact with all of your friends who post in the Facebook news feed because they're still way up here and you're way down here. And because they're up here posting and you're down here posting, you won't see it. You won't see it. They don't want you to see it. They will hide the truth at all costs. They will hide the lies at all costs. If they don't like you and you're lying, they're not going to treat you any better than if they don't like you and you're telling the truth. And you know what? I every day I say I'm not going to waste time bashing Facebook because here I am. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Facebook right now and I'm bashing Facebook. And tomorrow I'll be back here because I'm sure they're not going to kick me off. And if they do kick me off in the middle of the night and ban me for life, as long as the YouTube channel is up and running, we'll be over on YouTube. That's why I said to go over to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and subscribe to it and like it. And that way, you know, you will get a notification every time we go live on YouTube. And like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m., we go live on Facebook and we go live on YouTube. Tuesday and Thursday evenings, we go live on Facebook and we go live on YouTube. And Saturday mornings, while we can, we go live on Facebook and we go live on YouTube. We want to add Rumble, and we will. It's just I can't figure out where to go to either input my credit card and set up paying for Rumble. I can't figure out where to get the codes that I need so that I can get it into StreamYard so I can get it going. And I know it's not difficult because I talk to people every day who do it, who got it done. And I just keep saying, hey, why don't you call me on the phone and talk me through how to do it so I can do it? And I keep saying, we're not ever going to leave Facebook unless Facebook gets taken away from us. We're not going to leave YouTube unless YouTube gets taken away from us. We're not going to leave Rumble if we get Rumble unless Rumble gets taken away from us. I'm not the kind of guy who wants to, I get kicked off of Facebook, so I'm going to go to Rumble, or I get treated bad on Facebook, I'm going to go to Rumble. No. I get treated bad on Facebook, so I'm going to add Rumble, and maybe we won't get treated as bad over on Rumble. I want to be seen everywhere we can at 10 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and 7 p.m. Tuesday and Thursday, and 10 a.m. Saturday. I want the entire world to see us somewhere. I don't care. If you're on Twitter, I want you to see a tweet, X, whatever it is. I want you to see a tweet that we're live and you can watch it. I want you to see that we're live on Rumble. I want you to see that we're live on YouTube. I want you to see that we're live on Facebook. On Facebook, I want your help. I want your help to give me ideas for the broadcasts. I want your help to share the broadcasts because I'm lucky if they let me share it to 13 groups. We have 9. And then they nail me for spamming my own groups. This is something I don't understand. We have 9 groups. We do 5 broadcasts. And every week I get nailed for spamming my own groups with a broadcast that I think they want to watch. Sometimes they don't. Tonight they probably don't want to watch because they're getting tired of hearing these rants of, help me out on Facebook so we get more views. Help me out with content for a broadcast. Come on a broadcast. Give me ideas. Thursday evening, 7 p.m., Jen Woodruff, the homeschooling mom, will be interviewing Robert, middle initial V, last name Angel, dash or hyphen Little. Go look him up on Google and you will find all kinds of information. Mr. Little was born in Romania, had a very interesting life in Romania, and I believe in 1995, don't quote me, but I believe in 1995, it might have been earlier, came to the United States and had a rather interesting life, and still does, here in the United States. And we will have him on with Jen Woodruff leading the panel and conducting an interview on Thursday. A week from tonight, on March 19th, Bonnie Johnson, who you all have read over Facebook for years, posts that she's put up about Facebook premeditated social media and being involved with that, being involved in rescue missions on trafficked children, been involved with helping homeless veterans for a very long time. We're just going to pick Bonnie's head on whatever topic she wants to talk about that night. And I hope that you are there. She's a fascinating lady. Okay, a fascinating lady. And you want to be there and you want to hear that. And the more I read on Robert Little, fascinating gentleman, you want to hear his story. And I'm sure there are more of you on Facebook that have a story that you want to be told. We talked to the gentleman, Joe, I think it's Joe McCoy, up in New Hampshire, had the largest Trump sign and was forced to take it down, which I guess was illegal, but illegally forced to take it down by the city and or county and or state of New Hampshire. And you know what? It's just time that crap stops too. So we're working to try to find a Tuesday or a Thursday evening that we can get Joe on and talk with him. So, like I said, if you hear of or you know of or you are someone that would appreciate an hour and a half, 2 hours, even 2.5 hours, if that's how long it takes to tell your story, let's do it on a Tuesday or Thursday evening. Because according to Facebook and according to some of the other social media networks that we can land on from the YouTube channel, that is the best time for us to be on doing the kind of broadcast we want to do. Apologize as I scratch my ear, but I am at a point where I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not mad at people who watch Boogie with the Bull broadcast. I'm not mad at people who have been on Boogie with the Bull broadcasts in the past. I just want to start looking around for things that people want to hear about, question on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., sometimes 9:30. And help publicize things that need to be publicized. Get people thinking. Because if you run and hide and you keep your head buried under your seat up in your rectum much longer, when you take it out on November 6th, you're not going to like what you see. Okay? And if you are not scared by anybody who says that if the Democrats manage to steal this election or win this election honestly, it is probably the end of free elections in the United States of America. If that thought does not scare the, excuse my English, fucking bullshit out of you, then just leave your head where it is, honestly. Just leave your head where it is and go away. If you're one of those people and your head is up your rectum so far that you're just gonna wait for this to pass and you're in one of my groups, leave the groups. Because we put together, after 15 years of being on Facebook, the best group of what I call serial drive-by posters. These are people that posted thousands of Facebook groups every single day. They take things from thousands of groups and then they go post them in probably 1,000 other groups on Facebook. They don't get paid. They just do this because they are Facebook people with too much time on their hands and they want to get the truth out to you. The best one is Mary Craig Battle. And she posts in just about every group that we have. She's posting in Americans for Free Speech. I'm back in Americans for Free Speech as a member. Whether or not I ever get asked to be an admin in that group again, it doesn't really matter. But I'm back in Americans for Free Speech because Eric Leon Barton watched me last night and must have decided to take pity on my soul. I found all kinds of things on X today, memes, articles to get posting in there. I posted in some of our groups. I'm looking around for other groups that I'm in that I can start being the serial drive-by poster that I used to be. I was the first serial drive-by poster I had 15 years ago. Why? Because I wrote the newsfeed in 5 groups every day on Facebook. But, you know, we need people like Mary. We need people like Reese Craig, who is active in, MAGA News Nation, and in some of the other ones. I believe in the Red MAGA Nation. I believe in Red Patriots for America, and in some of the other groups we have. And if that's you, if you go from one conservative group to another, posting in there, or you find something that you can take and share into our 9 groups, do it. Oh, please do it. I would beg you to do it. And if I win the lottery, Powerball or Mega Millions, and I can properly fund what I want to do on social media, we'll pay you to do it. But for now, just help us out. The truth will set you free. And I made a promise 15 years ago when I joined Facebook that the truth would ring loud and clear on Facebook as long as I am on Facebook. And hopefully, if I ever get kicked off of Facebook, the admins of my groups would take over and keep my groups going as well as we have together as a team. And they might even replace me as an admin in some groups that I am in and keep it going. Because I'm not expendable. I mean, one of these days, Facebook is just going to say enough is enough. The Super Tuesday outage on Facebook. I hope I never go through another situation like that. I know that Facebook was down. I know it took them several hours to get it going again. After they got it going again, every code I got to log back in using 2-step authentication, every code I got was wrong. Unfortunately, the problem was it let me change my password, and then it wouldn't let me on to Facebook. That's why you'll see me on X probably in the course of a day, probably 5 or 6 hours, because I go on for a half hour here, an hour there, and I retweet and write my own tweets. Over there on X, I'm at Boogie WT Bull. Shift 2 Boogie WT Bull. That's who I am over on X. On Truth Social, I'm Dave Glovin. It's either Dave Glovin with no space or it's Dave Space Glovin. I can't remember, but on Truth Social, I'm Dave Glovin. On Instagram, I'm Dave Glovin. I think it's one word, no spaces. I don't use Instagram much. I use it primarily because one of my sisters who hates Facebook uses Instagram. So that's how I keep in contact with her. But I'm over there a lot. I find a lot of memes and things to steal and put over here on Facebook and the groups and other places that I'm on. I'm over on Gab. I'm Dave Globin on Gab. We have the Boogie with the Bull group over on Gab, but we have abandoned it for so long that I have to go over and start getting that going again. Over on MeWe, if anybody uses MeWe, we have the Hardcore Conservatives group. We have Conservative Freedom Defenders over there. We have Americans for Free Speech, which has over 100 members. But we need to start working on that, getting it updated, and just everywhere else we can be, really. And I see Randy Rhodes is watching, and like I said, at the beginning, kudos to Randy Rhodes. Why? Because the guy got out of bed every morning and he put his heart and soul into doing something that he wanted to do. And he didn't listen to anybody who said, no, don't do it. It'd be a terrible thing. He went and did it. A lot of us, me at times, told him, well, maybe you want to do something slightly different and you might have a little bit better results. But, you can't build a business. It's very hard to build a business on Facebook unless you're spending money advertising on Facebook, or else they're not going to help you. They're just not going to help you. But you know what? He got out of bed every morning and he was doing 10 a.m. broadcasts with me Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And he was doing 7 p.m. broadcasts on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And last Saturday, he joined me for a rare Saturday morning Boogie with the Bull, which had the best live viewership. We had 64 people watching us live, and it swelled into almost 90 about an hour after we went off. It stagnated at about 132, but that's okay. It had Bill Muckler was on, and he gave what should have been the Republican review to Joe Biden's State of the Union address, and Bill just let it go. And maybe that's probably why we had such a great live turnout for it. Speaking of Bill, the Bill Muckler Show, Monday through Friday at Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern on his profile, on the Bill Muckler Show group, on several groups and profiles throughout Facebook. I try to get it into at least 5 of my 9 groups every day. And you should watch it. And you should listen to him. You should think about what he says. And you should go to 2020americabook.com, 2020americabook.com, and buy his 2 books. 2020, A Clear Vision for America, and the follow-up, 2020, A Clear Vision for Our Future. Read those books. I always say I believe because the last time I looked it up, I think I'm right, but I believe they were written in 2015. You will find information in those books that was as fresh and things we should have been doing in 2015 as we should be doing here now in 2024. The federal government's Department of Indoctrination, more commonly known as the Department of Information, should be given back to the schools to take care, to the states to take care of. The states working with all the boards, the college boards, the school boards, the counties, cities, and let's just get it done and get it done right. No more ramming down the throats of your children crap that they don't need to know about. And I'll say, if you can, homeschool your children. If you have the ability to homeschool your children, homeschool your children. Because that way they will learn what you know they need to learn, and they will learn it the right way. I mean, the future of your nation is now. The future of your nation is when you open your eyes in the morning. The future of your nation is when you go to sleep at night and you pray all night that God's going to take care of you and your children. And when it's time, your children will be ready to step up and be the leaders of the world. And this is what we hoped our parents would do for us. Because that's the way it is. But we are failing our children miserably. And I don't mean that I want the principal of the school to be able to take out a paddle and beat your kids. I'm sorry. No, absolutely not. I don't care who they are. I don't care what a state, what a city, a county, a state, or the federal government says. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't care how bad that kid is. I don't care. And that's me. And you can come on to a Boogie with the Bull broadcast anytime you want. 10 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. 7 p.m. Tuesday or Thursday. You can come on a rare Saturday morning Boogie with the Bull broadcast at 10 a.m. Eastern. And they're not going to be so rare for the next month. And you can disagree with me until you're blue in the face. I'm sorry, but I do not believe that the principal or someone at your school has the right to take your kid aside and hit him with a wood board. I don't care. I do not care. You will not ever get me to believe that that is the way to do it. And I will say it because my parents didn't do that. My mother used to chase us around the house with one of those thin black dress belts of my dad's, snapping it like she was going to beat us. And the thought that she might probably entertained us more than anything else because Mom was 4'11" for a million years. Now I think she's just a hair over 5 feet. And I'm the shortest of the 5 kids, and I'm 5'6". But and my father, I don't remember in my entire life ever getting slapped, spanked by my father. Rest in peace. Yelled loud. Unfortunately, he got that from his father. But I do not believe, I'm sorry, I just don't believe that you beat your kid's rear end until they act the way you want them to act. Because in my head, you don't teach them to act the way they should or the way you want them to act, other than you teach them that if you don't act the way we want you to act, you're going to get beaten. And maybe that's supposed to be the threat that gets you to act the way you should act. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just don't believe that it works. I think if you can have a conversation in a low tone voice without yelling and screaming, and even if they're yelling and screaming at you, just be the adult and let them yell and scream. And at some point, I guarantee their voice will come down to where yours is. You just got to let them get that anger out and be there to make sure that they get it out. And then that's when you talk. Okay? And yeah, to me, you can buy your kids iPhones, you can buy your kids iPads, you can buy your kids every single game unit that there is. They can have all of them in their room, and blah 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 blah. And when you decide that they're not acting right, you go into their room while they're at school and you take it all out. It doesn't work. Why? Because your responsible kids are going to go out and get a job, which is what you want them to do anyway. But they're going to go out and get a job. And they're going to bust their ass working, because then they're going to go out and they're going to buy their own. And when you go into their room thinking you're going to take out something of theirs, no, it doesn't work. I earned that. That's mine. I just don't, Kids are smart. They learn. But I just don't think that can't sit down, keeping them home from school the next day because you don't want to be seen as a child abuser. It just doesn't do anything. To me, it just doesn't do anything. It just doesn't do anything. And like I said, maybe it's because I came from a house where we got yelled at. My mom might have slapped my face a few times, but I probably deserved it. I probably used language that you never want to use in front of your mother, let alone a lady. But we're just lost. And maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just lost. Maybe it's the fact that I'm 62 years old. I have dementia. I'm dealing with the slow decline into Parkinson's. And you know what? I don't care. I'm going to get up Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 o'clock. I'm going to enjoy my first cup of coffee, maybe a second cup of coffee. I'm going to sit down at 10 o'clock, and I'm going to sit down with a smile on my face, and I'm going to say, Boogie with a Bowl, Wednesday morning caffeine. I got it in my cup. This is my favorite morning caffeine vessel. And let's just talk about what's going on in your life, how what's going on in this country is affecting your life, what we can do to get us all a better life. I will never tell you who you need to vote for. I will never tell you how you should vote, what party you should be in. I'll be the first to tell you that, honestly, I think party politics should be removed from presidential elections, and they should be a popularity contest based on all the people that want to run, working down to a primary. And if you're going to limit the number of people who can be on a ballot, then do that. But the day of the presidential election, it should not be the Republicans against the Democrats. The day of the midterms or congressional elections, it should not be the Republicans against the Democrats. It should be all of the people who think they are qualified to be either in the House or in the Senate or be president, running for president. And vice president should probably become an elected position too. And I don't care if you tell me that will never work because you'll have a Republican president and a Democrat vice president. Too effing bad. That's why you remove the party politics. And you have the best person to be president elected with the best person they think to replace them if something happens to them. And I move into that segue only because I'm starting to believe, and I hope I am sadly wrong, but I'm starting to believe if something doesn't happen to Donald Trump before the election, it will happen after the election if he won. And he may not get back into the White House. And whoever sits down in his place isn't going to be him. Build back better. Donald Trump is going to build back better America than Joe Biden ever thought he could build back better from Donald Trump. And I guess that gets kind of confusing to people, but Dementia Man, Dementia Dave, I'll say it again, and I'll say it slow so that you can understand it. Donald John Trump got elected in 2016, and the man's vision was make America great again. And I do not think anyone, even Democrats, will tell you that he didn't do it. He most certainly did. Gas prices were down, food prices were down, other bills were down. People had money in the bank. They could spend money on their families. They could go on vacation. They could buy state-of-the-art iPads and iPhones and whatever for their families. You know? And they did. And there's no reason why we can't return to that point again. And I don't care if you, as mom and dad, think the best phone in the world, the safest phone in the world is an iPhone, and the best device is an iPad, and that's what you want for your kids, and you got the money, go out there and spend it. Go out there and spend it. Buy a house where you want to live. You can't do that now because your grandkids might be lucky enough to pay it off and own it. We're in the poorhouse, like William Rayfield says. Actually, Ray, you should. I sent you a link. You should come join me. You should come join me. I've ranted solo long enough. You should come join me. You should come join me because I learned a lot of this stuff from you. We live in the poorhouse now, and it's 100% true. We live in the poorhouse because we can't afford the house that we want to be living in. And in some cases, that's not such a bad thing. Because when our parents bought their first home, sometimes they bought a small home with the bedrooms that they needed on a piece of land that they knew one day they might be able to expand. And that's what they did. That's what we want to do. That's what everybody wants to do. Buy a home that is going to be yours until the day you're no longer here on this planet, and you have the privilege of giving it to someone you want to own it. And then there may come a time when they might have to sell it to go get into the home that they want to be in, and that would be fine with me. I don't care. I really wouldn't care. But then maybe a young up-and-coming family will buy the 10-room, 9-bathroom, 27-car garage house that I built for you because you need to move and desire to build something better somewhere or own something better somewhere. We're a step-up society. You're born in at a certain level, and you always want better for your kids. You do. You always want better for your kids. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I get tired of hearing or reading things in the paper. It's wrong to want to do that. You want to know what's wrong? What's wrong is the United States government allowing China to own 384,000 acres of farmland in this country So they don't grow anything on it. So they don't use it. It just sits there. Maybe for when they plan on invading this country and taking us over. Maybe that's where they're going to build the concentration camps. I don't care. And the reason that I say it is wrong, and on that tweet on X, I said, yeah, it is wrong, because there is no way in hell that we as Americans could go over to China right now and buy 384,000 acres of land in China and just decide we're going to do whatever the hell we want with it, or just not allow them to use it. You know, and I apologize to anybody who was insulted when I said, if your head is so far up your rectum right now, leave it there. Because the longer you wait to pull it out and start dealing with life, it's going to be too late when you do. It's never too late. You just might not like what's going on when you do this. I watched about an hour of Jim Jordan, as chair of the House Judiciary Committee, talking to special counsel Hur about the Hur report and trying to get her to admit that he worded things the way they needed to be worded. You know, then listening to Adam Schiff, who I guess is the ranking member, in another hearing, ripping her up one side and down the other, because it sounded like he was attacking the president for political gain. I wanted to jump through my Chromebook and slap Adam Schiff. You want to get upset? You want to say somebody played a political game for their own political gains? Think about January 6th, Adam. Think about January 6th. Think about why there are so many news reports of the J6 committee destroying evidence. Why would you destroy evidence if it proved people's guilt? You wouldn't want to do that. So the evidence that you're destroying obviously shows people innocent. And if those people are innocent, we need to send them home to their families. We need to send them home to their families. And I don't know how we go about compensating them for the time they were away from their families, because I don't know where the money will come from. You know, Adam, I hope you don't get reelected. And it has nothing to do with your sexual orientation. I don't care what you are. It has nothing to do with your religious orientation, because I don't care what you are and I don't know what you are. It has to do with you have done nothing but play party politics since 2016. You were part of the Democrat team determined to remove a president that America elected because you didn't want that person to be president. And in 2020, you did whatever you had to do to make sure that person did not become president. And you're doing it again in 2024. And I know it's true because Donald Trump has said many times, if they came to me and said, we'll drop everything, as long as you promise not to ever run again, go off and enjoy your life. He said, I could do that. And I'd have one hell of a life if I did, and he would. I got to believe that any man who has a solid gold toilet or solid gold toilets in the bathrooms of his Trump Tower penthouse could have one hell of a life. But then he says, you know why I didn't take any of that? Or I wouldn't take any of that? I'm not here for them. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. The couple at home with 2 kids. And one works during the day, and one is home with the kids, and one works 3rd shift while the other one is home. And you're busting your asses to make your house payment, your car payments, have some money in the bank so you can go on vacation here and there, support your family, buy your kids everything they need, even things they may not need that you just want to give them. He's here for you. He's here for me. Joe Biden is not here for you. He's not here for me. It having to do with the fact that I'm a Republican or a GOP member or a this or a that. He's not here for me. He's here for whoever is signing the checks that he's getting from all these other countries. He's here for the millions of dollars that he gets from Ukraine every time a pallet full of United States green gets delivered to Zelensky. Anyway, I've ranted enough, so I'm going to bring William Rayfield in. Welcome anybody who's watching on the Patriots Lab Network to the program. It's always my pleasure to make my house open to your house anytime. How are you, William?
Good evening, Mr. Glovin. How are you, sir?
I'm stressed and wired and ranting and having a good time, but
I'm hearing you.
Sometimes wondering if anybody listens.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Did you have a chance to watch the hearing with Robert Hur today on any point?
I didn't. I know that you posted it. You posted like almost 2 hours of it, and I had planned to watch it. Then I got dragged out of the house for something, and when I got home, I forgot. So I will make time to watch it tomorrow. I watched bits and pieces of the Jim Jordan hearing. I also watched bits and pieces of, I don't know if it was a subcommittee hearing that Adam Schiff was the leader of.
No, they were all at the
okay,
the hearing today for Robert Hur. They wanted to get the actual and factual from him about what his report was talking about.
Yep.
And it's striking that hopefully, the American people can obviously see that there is a 2-tier system of justice that is taking place right now. And there's no way around explaining what took place. It's just been corroborated that Joe Biden was taking classified documents home all the way back from 1977 up until the present. And he willfully and knowingly did it. And one of the frustrating things about this whole situation is, I don't know why Robert Hur just doesn't come out and say, "Listen, I didn't charge him because he's just too old." It was just frustrating to watch and see the Democrats always, at every chance, bring up Donald Trump. You would think the hearing was about Donald Trump if
Right.
not the Democrats.
I have to admit, and maybe it's just because in the near future I could be like Joe Biden. I don't need to see him up against the wall at Gitmo waiting for a bullet in his head. I don't need to see him in line standing waiting for a noose around his neck. I just want him removed as president and understand that his political career is over. He, for the remainder of his life, cannot have any kind of elected office in the United States of America. Even if he's home in Delaware and they elect the dog catcher, he cannot hold an elected office again. Just go off and enjoy his life. Whether or not he would still get his pension, I don't know. Because you could argue if he got all this money and he's banked all that money, came into the presidency worth a couple of $100,000, and now he's worth $100 million or something. He probably doesn't need it. So yeah, maybe take it away from him and put it to work for Americans that deserve it. But
hey, who was the gangster that they went and caught down in Florida in his mid-80s after he was on the run for? He was on the old man. He was an old man. They brought him out of his house in his pajamas.
Yep.
Who, I forgot his name.
I don't remember.
Well, I say that to say this. I want to see that old man go to jail. I want to see him go to jail for every crime that he broke knowingly and willfully, as stated in the report. I don't want to see him be able to ride off into the sunset because of his old age or being senile or having dementia, because that had nothing to do at the point in time when he committed these crimes.
Right.
And I get tired of just seeing people that are willing to just sweep it under the rug. No, I don't want him to go away and just ride off into the sunset. He's committed treason, high crimes, and misdemeanors, and I want him to be held accountable like any other American citizen would be held accountable for these crimes, such as what they're doing to Donald Trump on false allegations.
Right.
So, yeah, that's where I differ. I want to see. I don't care how long it takes. I want to see him go to jail. I don't care if he has to spend his last 2 years of life in jail.
I guess it just, what bothers me is I guess what I'm saying is, and I'm too afraid to say it, is that there should be a death penalty, because those are crimes. Some of those crimes may have earned you the death penalty.
That's what our law says.
And then in that case, yeah, the death penalty is just your airfare to heaven, where you're going to sit down and talk with God and get judged by God.
I mean, we don't make up the laws. We just know they're on the books, those are the laws.
I have a big problem, because he's not going to live that long. So, I mean, we're not going to put him in prison and he's going to live another 100 years. But my point is, why should the taxpayers have to support him in prison until he passes away? And there's more to it than that, because he's a president. He can't be held with general population. He has to be, I know, but he has to be in his own wing. His Secret Service team goes with him. His White House chef probably goes with him. So he's going to continue to live in
confinement.
But in the life that he's grown accustomed to. His refrigerator is always going to be stocked with ice cream. So why why should we pay for that? I mean, it's sad
Because
that I get
you still, regardless of what you think, you still have to uphold the rule of law, because the day you do not uphold the rule of law, there will always be someone else that'll say, well, if I get caught and I'm of a certain age, they're just going to put me in there and let me rot away, but I'm still going to be living my best life in solitary confinement. Let me just go ahead and do what I'm going to do and deal with that. No, I don't care how old you are. There's going to be a consequence that is unreprehensible that's coming to you if you do something like that.
Well, then I guess my question is, do we take some kind of action against her? Do we penalize Robert Hur? Because basically it sounds like he's saying, I didn't write my report so that it came across that the man belonged in jail for the rest of his life, or up against a wall waiting for the long sleep to hit, or whatever, and either retire him as a lawyer or whatever, special counsel, a Justice Department employee, because he didn't take the rule of law and say, well, he should be up on the gallows, or he should be up against a wall, and that's it.
This is why it's very important that people get the actual and factual and read into what they say, because the whole time during the proceedings, he kept telling them, my overall assessment, even with the conclusion I came up with, does not exonerate Joe Biden from these crimes. So he's just saying, listen, people, he's pulling a James Comey. He's saying, listen, people, I'm not getting in the middle of this shit, but I'm giving you all the evidence that you need. Okay, I'm going to give you all this stuff, but y'all not going to come back on me. I'm not putting my family in jeopardy. I'm not putting me in jeopardy. If somebody else wants to go after Papa, have at it. I'm going to be a private citizen when this is done, and y'all can pick up the mantle.
He gave us the actual and factual, and now we have to decide. Now that we have the actual and the factual, we have to decide what the punishment is.
That's it.
Yeah, and I can respect that. Plus, it's like you said, it would scare the bejeebies out of me if I had to do something like that. They're going to show up. They're going to go after my family. They're going to go after me. There's going to be a safe place to run and hide.
Mm-hmm. But I appreciate, to the extent that he did go, just to acknowledge what we already knew, just to state the facts of it. Oh, and they didn't love the facts, how they they and this is what's funny. They don't deny the facts. What they do is they say Donald Trump has worse facts.
No,
we're not going to deny our facts, but Donald Trump has a worse.
But the point is that they're 100% wrong when they say that. Because Donald Trump was president, and Donald Trump had the Presidential Records Act, and it allowed him to take with him anything that he decided to declassify and take with him. And if Congress is concerned with that, well, then maybe they need to rewrite the Presidential Records Act and pay more attention to what a president is going to take with them. Because Joe Biden wasn't president.
Well, like he said, like Hur said in his report, and they have it on audio. Thank God. But you know what? It don't make a difference. But he during this whole time he not only retained classified information, he then gave out classified information to his ghostwriter, who ghostwriter, once the ghostwriter was contacted by Robert Hur, and Robert Hur told the ghostwriter, we're starting an investigation, the ghostwriter tried to get rid of all of the tapes, and they caught it in the recycle bin.
Yeah.
Wow, why are you trying to get rid of it? The ghostwriter said, I don't want to have nothing to do with this shit.
But he already does.
Gave from classified information that, oh my goodness, I don't even know. I can't even believe we're sitting here talking about it. I just want to see Papa go to jail.
Yeah.
There's no more. You know what it's like, Dave? It's like, okay, you get convicted of robbing the bank. No, you get accused of robbing the bank. Bank says they stole $3 million. The government gets to your house. They only find $1.8 million. They turn around, look at them, and say, "We can't lock him up. We only found $1.8 million. Y'all said he sold $3 million. We don't, Don't he? How much? Like one of the congressmen said, you stated that he willfully and knowingly retained classified information, and then on the other hand, you say you don't have enough information. You just stated he willfully retained it. How much more information do you need?
Well,
do you really find the whole 3 million, 1.8 million ain't enough to know that these people are the ones that robbed the bank? So It doesn't make sense. But I am so glad that the American people get to see this, because see, it's a mechanism in the head that says this shit don't. This shit don't. What am I watching? It's like watching another episode of The Next 48. If you ever watch it, when they're just the police got the little black guy in the back room, and he started out, I wasn't there. And 20 minutes in, well, I was around the corner. See, they get close. They start, well, and that's just what these people are. It's reality show at its finest.
We were watching a Dateline that we realized going through because we liked that show that we never saw, and it was about a murder investigation because the husband claimed that someone broke into their house, shot him, and then shot his wife. And it turned out the guy gave a very detailed description of this person who, fortunately, it turned out when they found him, he was in jail. And he proved his innocence that he wasn't there. But I mean, this is just crazy. I mean, come on, folks. I mean, this whole matter really needs to go to bed. So yeah, I mean, maybe he does belong in jail, eating all. He does belong in jail, eating whatever he's going to eat, living the life that he's going to live in jail. Maybe getting an hour outside in the exercise yard, if that. He doesn't need it, probably.
I mean, this is.
But I mean, it just needs to go away.
It's a mockery. It's a mockery of this institution. It's a mockery of the establishment. It's a mockery of this country to have to sit back and watch grown-ass adults sit in front of you and tell lie after lie. And they telling lies. I mean, it's like it's like your kids sitting in front of you after they got cookie crumbs all over their face. Oh, I didn't go in the cookie jar. I mean, what? But and this is the funniest thing. If you haven't watched my show, you got to watch it. The people sitting behind these people talking are just trying so hard not to laugh their ass off. Yeah. I mean, Jamie Raskin and Adam Schiff and this other, when they talk, these people are literally sitting behind them. And these are people on their team. And they cannot keep a straight face because they can't believe the shit that they saying, because they're not privy to the memos of what these people are about to say. So they just as shocked as we are when they sitting behind in the home team dugout and their coaches is like, yo, this is crazy shit, bro.
I guess both parties are a matched set of bookends, because it just seems like the Democrats wasted all this time from 2016 through now going after Donald Trump, only to be exposed for Papa doing exactly the same thing, but worse because he wasn't president. He wasn't president when he stole stuff from the Senate. He wasn't president when he kept it as vice president. He wasn't president when he got the stuff that he kept as president.
And everything else after that is mute. That's all I'm saying. I'm right there with you. Why are we even talking about anything else? Why? To keep talking about everything else is justifying the laws that he broke. And now we're just trying to make reasons and excuses.
Or it's just a conspiracy theory. Not in our case, but it's just the conspiracy theory that sells advertisements when you watch this stuff on TV.
But you know what? I'm getting ready to break into a series here on in the Patriots Lab.
Yep.
The deep state doesn't realize it, but they got set up. They fell for the oldest trick in the book. See, people are getting ready to see things and hear things for the first time. That's going to bring a lot of insight to why everything is taking place, how long it's been taking place, and just how long these people have been being set up. Because, like I tell people, I've been doing this going on 8 years now.
Now, when you say deep state, most of us think about Barack Obama.
It goes past Barack Obama.
I know, but most of our brains don't wrap around that it goes above and beyond. It goes above and beyond Barack Obama. But are you saying that basically?
I'll put it in a nutshell. If we didn't allow what's happening to happen and get the American people aware of what was taking place, what's about to take place, would never be allowed, or not should I say be allowed, it would never happen in an orderly manner. It's getting ready to get to the point where so much is about to be exposed, where the American people are going to welcome what's about to happen. Yeah, the deep state got set up. They got played. See, they thought they was playing a player when they were the ones that actually got played. See, they thought they was the hunter when the hunter was actually the one being hunted. This is deep. And you got to tune into the Patriots Lab to find out more about it. It goes way past all of this. Y'all think Trump didn't set this off? And not only set this off, but was informed about the takedown of the global elites years ago?
Oh, I'm sure he was.
This is the biggest setup to these people. Y'all about to find it. And y'all understand what a 5D chess player is all about. And how they operate and how they move. Y'all remember when Trump was on Oprah and Oprah asked him, if you ran for president, do you think you'd win? And Trump said, yeah, I know I'd win. There's a reason he didn't run for president right there. Because, see, everything wasn't out yet.
Yeah.
This goes way back when the general summoned him and wanted him to run for president. This goes way back years. A lot of people call it conspiracy theories. But now that we can sit back, those of us who know and watch it unfold,
hang on.
Be told about it years ago.
Hang on just a second. Jane, the dogs are okay. The baby dog is a purebred husky, and she's a whiner. So when she gets excited, she whines. Our Chihuahua is at the door of the bedroom, all 5 pounds of her. She's whining a little bit because when she hears the big dogs out whining and barking, she wants to be outside playing with them. But unfortunately, when the player is not ready, when the playee is not ready to be the player, she's more safe inside the bedroom. But yeah, the dogs are okay. I usually will turn my mic off when they start going, if they start going crazy, Jane. So in the future, if you hear the dogs start barking or anybody hears the dogs barking and I don't turn my mic off, just yell at me to turn my mic off, and I will. But then William has to remind me to turn my mic on when I start talking. But anyway.
I was trying to find something.
Okay.
Oh no, it's nothing. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of people that actually made me aware of the situation years ago. Everything is coming to fruition. Everything is coming to fruition. That's why I tell people all the time. Why do you think one of the first things he did when he got into office was to make sure he secured his Supreme Court backdrop? He was ready for the fight. He knew where the fight was going to go. He knew how far it was going to go.
Yep.
He knew, and he was prepared for it.
Yep.
Why do you think? Yeah.
Are you doing a 9 o'clock tonight?
No. Tomorrow I'll be doing it.
Okay. Okay.
But this right here, I'm putting this together. Somebody, Mama Mona just sent me a batch of information, so I got to go through everything and get the videos right and everything.
Yep.
And then I'll be presenting that and let people see for themselves what a turnaround it's going to be. Yep. Did you have a chance to hear Donald Trump's speech that he gave the other night with the soloist music in the background? He spoke for
I did not, but I will find it and I will watch it. I promise.
Well, yeah, he spoke for 37 minutes. Let me see something here. Hold on 1 second. This is the turning point of America, and a lot of people got to understand that. Let me see. I don't know if my system will come up on it. But everything's been okay with you, Dave?
See, I did it again. No, everything's been pretty good. I may start reaching for you around 10 o'clock Monday, Wednesday, Fridays if you're around to join me on my Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning show if you're around. Are you there? Did you freeze? I hope you didn't freeze.
Oh. No, I didn't. Did I freeze?
Maybe for a second. But yeah, if you're around Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 o'clock, I'm going to start grabbing you and bringing you on if you are around. And if you're not around, you're welcome anyway.
Okay. I was trying to find that. Speech, but it's an awesome speech. I do urge everyone to find it.
Okay. All right, it's coming up on 8:30, and I promise that's the time that we will be done. So, William, if you want to tell people where they can catch you and the Patriots Lab Network, please do.
Well, I appreciate that. You can catch me. I'm going to start my schedule Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we are just going to we're going to pull this train into the station because it's on its last couple of stops, and we're going to see where this goes. They're putting the ball in the American people's side of the court, and we're going to see what we do with it. We're going to see what we do with it. They're giving us all the information that we need, but. Yeah. Please keep our country in prayer. because we're getting ready to go through some tumultuous times here. Before we see the light, it's going to get a lot darker.
All right, Brother Ray, if you're around tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, like I said, you're more than welcome to come on and save me from doing a 2.5 hour rant tomorrow morning. I appreciate you coming on tonight. And anything else you got to say in the last minute or so?
Nope.
All right, my pleasure having you here, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, sir. You have a blessed night.
You too. All right, William Rayfield from the Patriots Lab. Look for him around Facebook. You'll see his videos on his William Rayfield profile, as well as the Patriots Lab and the Patriots Lab Uncensored groups, which are private, and I think you have to join. And he's all over social media too. So I want to thank anyone from the Patriots Lab Network that got the privilege of watching us. And let's see. I won't be going live until Easter. Well, Nick, I look forward to seeing that. Let us know where and when you will be, and we will make sure we let everybody know. And let's see. Jane O'Malley said, I think we're in for a wild ride. I think AI will steal the election in November, and that's could be true, Jane. I don't know. I would went off on AI on a post on Twitter today. I think as Elon Musk has kind of hinted around that it got away from us, and now they're trying to backpedal to where they wanted it, and I think they don't have the control that they thought they had over it. And I wanted to scroll back up to one other person. See, Bonnie Johnson said awesome as we were going through the program while Will and I were talking. Bonnie Johnson is a smart, intelligent lady. You've seen her around Facebook. She is very active in Veterans Affairs, primarily with homeless veterans. You've read her posts all over Facebook and seen real national news interviews with her as a child trafficking rescuer, having gone out with military teams before down in the tunnels where it's dark and you don't want to be down there, and rescuing kids and bringing them home and putting the bad guys and girls away. And she will be joining us on next Tuesday. March 19th, next Tuesday, 7 p.m. to no later than 9 p.m. Eastern here on Boogie with the Bull Tuesday Night Live. Jen Woodruff will be handling the interview, and I promise you it will be really great. Also, as I said, Thursday, let's see, Thursday is the 14th, I think. Jen Woodruff will be interviewing Robert Angel Little. Go to your favorite web browser and type in Robert, middle initial V, Angel, ANGEL, hyphen Little, LITTLE, and look him up. I know he has written some books. He's a member of some of our groups here on Facebook. He's in Red Patriots for America, but started in Romania, I believe came to the United States in 1995 and has had an interesting life on both sides, both in Romania and now here in the United States. And we'll be talking about a lot of interesting stuff. That's all I can tell you. So Thursday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. with myself, Jen Woodruff, and some of the Boogie with the Bull panel members will be there to ask questions as well. Please come and watch and share that broadcast. And the same when we have Bonnie on the 19th, please come and share and watch that broadcast. And if you don't want to share it off, if you want to share it off of Facebook, but you don't want to share it from Facebook, you can go to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and take it and share it from there. So let's see. This is the part of the broadcast where I say you have been watching Boogie with the Bull Tuesday Night Live, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. And I apologize for any rants that got a little out of control. As I did say, our thoughts, prayers, well wishes go out to whatever hopes for a successful future, to Randy Rhodes, who kept us all enlightened with All Roads Lead to Home genealogy services, as well as the All Roads Lead to Home group, as well as Stepping Stones and On the Road to Dixie. And hopefully you'll still see Randy around on our broadcasts and other broadcasts. And that's about all I got to say on that one. And I think that's just about it. So double V's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is going to come to an end. Bless you.
Thank you.
And one more double V's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast did in fact come to an end. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock Eastern on Facebook and YouTube.